Hello, this is Wmpyr. So, when you look around martial arts channels on YouTube, you constantly probably hear about the differences between street and sport. So, on my channel, I hope you're hearing about the similarities. So, that's a little different. I hope that's refreshing and unique. Okay, so my student in Japan, this guy is he's a guy who's been training with me for many years now in my system, and mainly, of course, that is Kali, Escrima, Arnis. That is the main. But I also tell the guy to go ahead and cross train in as many different styles as you can, and experience as much as you can. And one of the styles that he really likes is Muay Thai kickboxing that he's doing right now, and he's even getting ready to go over to Thailand. So and train over there. So I'm really proud of him for that. His background was in boxing, and then he started training with me. But so he also really likes the boxing, and he's kept up the boxing. But now he's like super into the Muay Thai kickboxing, and in it he's learning the head control, the what they call the plum, right? Um, so that is to me a very awesome technique, and that's something that after college, maybe like 2 years after college for me, I got back into and was kind of like studying that again to make some of my Muay Thai skills a little bit more technical and sharper. And yeah, the plum was definitely something that was, I found that it was a lot deeper than, of course, what I had learned back in the day. There was a lot more to it. And I do think it's very valuable skills that I would recommend for street or sport. Okay, but let's think about it. In Filipino martial arts, Kia, I like to call it Kia, which stands for Kali, Eskrima, Arnis. Now, there's other Filipino martial arts, but Kia is, Kali, Eskrima, Arnis, which they're all basically the same thing. So I like to jumble that together. So in Kia, we defang the snake. So we are arm killers, right? We go for the arm. And of course, with the Muay Thai head control, the plum, the head clinch, what we're doing here is obviously you're controlling, you're grabbing the neck and the head, and you're controlling the opponent that way, right? To set up for, a lot of times it's the knees. You could elbow, but a lot of times it's for the knees, right? So then what do we do? Because one is arm control, the other is head control. Two very different ideas here. So, how do we mix it together well? Do we abandon one? We have to pick one or the other, or what do we do? And my answer for you guys there is the arm control comes first. And we always go for the arm control first. And then, let's say you have the arm, right? Just like the way that I've been teaching my students, which is go ahead and get arm control, because we attack the arm. So attacking the arm isn't just cut it or hit it. It's also when you get in closer, we control it. So by controlling the arm, to me, we're still attacking the arm. So that's an extension of that. So when you get into grappling range, now you're controlling the arm. You're grappling with the arm, rather than when you're further away, you're striking the arm, or you're cutting the arm, or you're stabbing at the arm, right? So once we get in closer, we're controlling the arm. So when you control the arm, right, and you see an opportunity to go into a Muay Thai traditional head clinch, and you feel like that's going to give you a huge advantage, go for it. Go for it. So arm control first, then go to head control. Now, let me give you an example where it might be the reverse. So this person suddenly attacks me, and I didn't know what the heck was going on, and they came at me, and so at that point, let's say the head control came out. Let's say I had been doing several weeks worth of Muay Thai training, just thinking nothing but Muay Thai. So that's what came out, right? So if that's what came out, then great, okay. And if you're still not cut or stabbed, then you should realize they might go for a weapon. So you're lucky right now that you haven't been stabbed or cut, but from this point, they might. So from the head control, which just naturally came out and you got it, switch to arm control. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So I recommend arm control first, then go to head control. But if you went with head control first, go to arm control to be safer. And then if you see the opportunity to go back to head control and that you feel like that's going to suit you better, go back to head control. Nothing wrong with that, okay? So I would put them together that way. Okay, it's almost like Legos in a way, but arm control first. And the reason why I say that is because in the street, they may have a knife, they may have a pistol, okay? And if you don't do arm control, you're going to get stabbed or you're going to get shot. So we need to do arm control. Now, you might go, well, what if I know 100% that they don't have a weapon? It's very difficult to say that unless you know the person or something. But then I got to ask, how serious is this situation then if you know the person and why are they attacking you and whatnot? But look, if the person doesn't have a weapon, you also don't know that they might have it concealed and they might go for the weapon at any time. So you really don't know. And then I'm talking about right now, we're talking about daytime where you can see, you know, and maybe you have the distance to see, but things can happen real quick to where you're like, oh, what the hell? This guy's on the floor, that guy's screaming, and then this guy's coming at me. What? You didn't have a chance to see their hands, okay? So it can happen really fast. And then if it's at nighttime, even harder to see. And then, like I said, the weapon might be concealed. So if you think of all those things, it's just smarter. It makes more sense to just assume they have a weapon, okay? Because you can't tell is what I'm saying. A lot of times you just cannot tell if they have a weapon or not. Might as well assume that they do have a lethal weapon, okay? So assume that they do have it. Therefore, arm control first, okay? Now, the other thing is, in sport, there's weight classes, okay? And in the street, there isn't. So this person might be a lot bigger than me, which means, all that means is they have the capability to knock me out with one punch. And if they have that capability, then to me, their fist is a weapon. That means their fist is no different than a knife or a pistol, because either one of those can take me out with one hit, whether it's a knife or a gun or a baseball bat or their fist, you know. So then to me, it's really no different that, you know, yeah, you could argue about which one does more damage or whatever, but all three of those could take me out with one hit. I could get knocked out with one hit, then I'm at their mercy. It doesn't even matter, even if it didn't do that much damage, because after that, he might stomp me on my head, and then I could be in a coma, or I might even die from that. So, yeah, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you just, in the street, it just makes more sense to assume that they have one punch knockout capability and they may have a weapon. It just makes more sense. So the only solution, the only logical solution to that is control the arm. So we attack the arm, we control the arm. So go for the arm first. So that's why I say that, okay? So once you're there and you think, you know what, I think I could go to head control, and I think I could really end the situation or really do a better job of controlling the situation, then go for it by all means, okay? So that to me is the way to go about it. And look, I want to say this. Escrima, Kali, Arnis, we do the defang the snake, we do the arm, we go for the arm. So that's the first thing that you do. And then in boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, wrestling, and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all the styles that basically you see in MMA, okay, all of those styles, that stuff comes later. And why do I say it comes later? It comes later in the situation. You should be tapping into those skills later. That's what I mean. And why later? Not disrespecting those styles in any way, okay? Why I'm saying later is it's just a matter of timing, knowing when to use your tools, right? So the reason why the Escrima Kali Arnis comes first is because we're going for the arms, right? And that makes sense because it is the safest thing to do, and you know, we want that distance, we want to be in long range, and then if we end up in close range we still control the arm. Okay, so that's all Kali Escrima Arnis. We defang the snake, right? Which means attack the arm, attack the limbs. Now from there, right, the reason why boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu come later is because all those arts, whether it's, you know, like a uppercut or a right cross, or you know, the knees or the elbows, or in wrestling to pin the opponent, or in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is submission or a rear naked choke, or armbar, or whatever. All of those are finishing the opponent. Those are finishes. Whether it's a uppercut, hook, uppercut combo, or whatever, those are all finishes, right? You're trying to finish the opponent. You're trying to set them up and finish them with a devastating move that's going to knock them out or take them out, or you know, break their arm, or you want to finish them. So that means it's a finisher, meaning it's towards the end. So timing wise, it comes later. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with, no, Escrima Kali Arnis is superior. No, of course not. Of course not. It's just about timing. So one is better for the earlier part of a self-defense situation, and the other, you know, if it goes in that direction, you may not be rolling around on the ground, but you might also. I have you know, talked to guys where they ended up on the ground in a road rage incident, you know, and they finished the guy on the ground essentially. Two totally different people, you know, with totally different backgrounds, and you know, that they told me that's what happened, you know. So I'm just saying that it could definitely happen, although obviously, you know, in other situations that would be a very bad idea, or you know, or many situations might be a bad idea, but just saying, okay, so that stuff is more finishing, obviously because of its name. It finishes, it's towards the end, right? So I hope that makes sense. That's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.